Hey guys, it's Doc, and today I'm going to do a couple things today, but one thing I'm going to do, which is real exciting, is I'm going to take you out to our newly leased property, which is we call Bedrock Ridge. It's a fascinating property. The one thing about this property is we're pretty sure it's virgin ground that will be working, so we really have no idea. This ground has never been drill tested. It's really never been prospected before. We've been up near this property and done some testing and had some decent results, so I'm excited about it. So I'm going to take you out there to our first ever testing run, which was cut short. Now if you'll notice, it's kind of gray, and I'm kind of trying to beat the rain here because we have a lot of storms that are moving in, and I just told the guys we're going to shut down. We secured the dredges, and we know that there's flooding up there in that area, so we pulled out. We've got to pull out, unfortunately, for a couple of days. So I'm actually back home. We got a little bit of work done, a little bit of testing, went really well. So I'm going to take you out there and I'm going to show you the new Bedrock Ridge location that we've got, which is really cool. Hey guys, it's Doc, and well, I promised you something kind of new and a little bit different. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you something exciting for me, a property that we've been trying to get for almost 2 years now, and we finally managed to go ahead and lease this property. It's not too far from where we are. I can't say exactly where it is because of the lease restrictions that we have, but we're going to be dredging out here. We're going to be running our equipment out here. We'll be running the Viper, the Mini, the Gold Hog. We'll be running the Big 5 and the 4 out here. And but I did want to show you some unique stuff about this property. Number one, we're 99.9% positive that this property's never been worked before. So this is virgin ground. It's been with this family for over 100 years, and like I said, I've worked on it for 2 years to get this lease. But a good portion of this creek that we're working, a lot of one side of this creek, it actually comes off a hillside, and that hillside is all bedrock as it comes down, and I'm going to show that to you, and it's pretty amazing. So we're out here, we're doing our very first test run. I figured I'd bring you along. For the next couple of months, we'll have some real exciting videos because we should have some good gold. We do sell our concentrates from throughout the southeast for some of our operations, so we might even include some of this. Who knows? But I wanted to show you some of this stuff over here. But you can see that this looks like the bank, but actually what it is that's bedrock. That's actually bedrock that goes up this big hill down here. So you can see that's all bedrock all along here. And it goes way down. And this bedrock actually comes down into the creek down here. So material's been feeding off this hillside for thousands of years, and gold's been working its way down here. So we're real excited about working this area. But like I said, this is exciting for us. I'm going to bring you along with most of what we're doing here, and stay tuned. Okay, so you can see this is another section of the creek. This is actually where we're working. And you can see this big old bedrock over here. You see the bedrock into the creek over here. And then actually I got Joe over here diving on this right behind this big piece. So this is a great little piece in here. Should show us some good gold. Again, this hillside slopes down. And one thing that I've got this time too, we're running a new mat configuration in the 5-inch, and what we're running is we're running a River Hog cut down, and it's a combination. So I go River Hog, Scrubber, Razorback, River Hog, Scrubber, Razorback, River Hog, Scrubber, Razorback, all the way down this thing. I've got River Hog up at the top, but then after that I go to that combination. Should be really good. Like I said, I'll show it to you. We'll do a test run. We'll see what it is. Hey guys, I'm going to walk you over there and show you this dredge running with the new mat in it. But what I want you to look for is, I want you to look for when the slurry turns white, this gray-white. When it turns gray-white, you know he's on bedrock. And that's the difference versus a brown or milky whatever. When it starts to turn white and light gray, then you know he's on bedrock, so watch for it. Now he's off of bedrock because it's turning brown. And in a minute you'll see lots of rocks, always in hard pack. And then eventually it'll start to turn white as it gets to the bedrock. And you'll see the water levels surge up and down, and that's what your system, your riffles or your matting has to be able to take that surge. Hey guys, so I just want to show you real quick, these are the cons from the 5-inch in here, and like I said, it's about a gallon of cons, but I took one little corner of it and I wanted to show you. But you can see it's just absolutely loaded with fines in here. So that mat was running really good. I mean, there's just tons and tons of fines. That's pretty cool. Here's a bullet. Oxidized, I don't even know what caliber that is. I guess it's a 22, but looks rifled. But this stuff's floating away when I try and shoot it. Nice stuff though. Okay, so I figured I'd show you some of the cons. Alright, so I've got about 3/4 of a cup of material in here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pan it out real quick, just in my little kiddie pool here. Now the one thing you want to know about our cons is, if you get our cons, is you want to check every single rock. You want to save all your rocks from these cons, because you have to know what a ruby looks like, you have to know what a topaz looks like, because there will be, especially in these crazy cons, you'll find a bunch of small stuff. And if you put it under a microscope, if you put this stuff under a microscope, you'll see garnets and amethyst and all kinds of crazy stuff, real small. But I can already see a bunch of garnets actually starting to trail off here. But you really want to do this stuff, if you get cons, you really want to do them 1 tablespoon at a time. Because you want to look at all these rocks and you want to watch out for this fine gold. Alright, so a lot of people also, I figured this would be a good time. Again, I've said this before in other videos, but this is how do I get the gold out of here, and it's pretty simple. All I do is I just keep my hand here and I just tap, and all my gold is going to end up over in this corner, because it's sort of like a shaker table. Wherever the tap stops, that's where the heavy gold is going to go. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I figured I'd go ahead and get a little bit of a close-up for you so you can see this. But you can see the gold in here. That's a nice little chunker right there. There's a bunch of fines up in here which are going to be floating away. But you got to be really careful with this stuff, because you're going to see lots of 50s and lots of 100s in this stuff. And again, a lot of it wants to float away, but okay guys, I wanted to show you, I've got some of the gold sitting over here. But what I wanted to show you is I grabbed some gems that we found recently, and this is, give you a good example, but this is a little small amethyst stone. Here's a piece of pyrite. This is actually a real pretty ruby. You can see how red it is. This is a baby topaz, a little topaz. Believe it or not, that's some form of a dark topaz. I've never seen it that dark. But you can see, this is real interesting. This is something we found. But look at that little ruby inside that stone. It's embedded inside of it. Now, we hit this with a UV light. And UV lights will make rubies and sapphires and diamonds actually glow. And this thing just glows red, 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 red. But you can see it. That's why you got to check these stones. You got to check every stone real carefully, just in case. But here's a piece of rose quartz, aventurine. Aventurine, believe it or not, cuts real pretty. If you ever want to make like a bracelet or something. There's a big, nice little fractured piece of garnet. That cuts really nice. This is an emerald shaft. Normally it comes inside of a black formation, but that's a whole emerald shaft there. And here's either a sapphire or ruby, and it's... And the funny thing about the rubies and sapphires is they'll look like rocks, but the thing is they're real heavy. It feels just like a bullet. It's just like lead, real heavy. So again, when you're looking through, if you get any of the cons, just be real careful and look for this stuff. There's all kinds of gems in here. There's all kinds of crazy stuff, so you just got to look at it carefully and get to know them. But pretty neat stuff. So anyways, when you're working cons, you know, you got to be really careful and work them a couple tablespoons at a time. But this new area that we have has a bunch of fine gold. It has some nice chunkers inside of it too. We're already starting to see some small nuggets in there. So again, it's going to be a nice little area. And what we're going to do over the next couple weeks is we're going to be taking. We'll be running dredges up there, we'll be taking up the Viper, we'll be taking up a Mini, we'll be taking a Gold Hog up there. So we'll be taking all kinds of equipment, and we'll be running the equipment up there too. It's easier to take that smaller equipment like a Mini or a Gold Hog, set it up as a 2-inch dredge, and actually go test different areas, because we have, you know, let's say 3/4 of a mile of creek that we have to work. Well, we got to go through and we got to sample those different areas, and that's typically what we'll do. Is instead of dragging a huge dredge up the creek, we'll just take you know, one of the Gold Hogs up there and run a Gold Hog and do sampling all along this, and sort of keep notes about the results of different areas, so we know what to work up there. But anyways, Bedrock Ridge should be exciting. I'm going to take you up there again the next several weeks. We'll be going up there and taking you along, so stick with us and watch.